And we're live.
Yeah, and then I went and I opened his pencil case. It was a fat pencil case. And there was one thing in it, a big fat black Sharpie. And I pulled it out and just started cracking up because I was like, you're dumb, bro.
And you know, for that kid,
biggest Sharpie, and he drew like, you have one thing. Why didn't you draw the S, man? I would have came by and been like, damn, nice.
Nice S.
Was the S for something? Was it a band?
I thought it was Superman.
That's not a Superman S.
I know, but that's what I thought it was.
Well,
not that.
I didn't watch superhero movies as a kid either.
Yikes.
Not much.
How cannot like those Christopher Reeve Superman movies? Come on, he's.
No.
He throws the S actually at one point in one of the movies. He takes the S off and throws it. Like it wraps the bad guy up, and I was just like, he has that ability.
He can do that.
The S does that.
Why has he never broke this one out before?
Why would you use an S ability like that if you're already Superman? Wouldn't it be easier to fly over and kill them?
Well, he doesn't kill if he doesn't have to. He really doesn't kill at all.
So no, Batman didn't kill.
Oh, Batman will lay a murder game down every now and then if he needs to.
I don't particularly enjoy Superman too much, but I do. If you guys have never read All-Star Superman, I suggest reading it. It's really good. It's Superman's dying in it, and it's just like that's how it starts off. Superman is sick and he's dying, and he's the ultimate Superman, the one that's done every single thing. He's got like every trophy for everything, but like just how he handles his final moments is really that's like a really good Superman story. A highlight being at one moment where he's like trying to talk like a girl from jumping off a building to kill herself. The interaction is just great. It's a good Superman.
Does he age?
I really
Superman?
like
what?
Does Superman age?
It's so I read another one. Yeah, I read another one where he's aged like much less. It's like an old Kingdom Come, and Batman and Superman are both much older, and Batman like needs like this prosthetic thing to keep himself standing up straight because his body's all old and fucked up, and like Superman's just got like a couple gray hairs.
Yeah, Superman ages but really slowly. My favorite Superman story is the death of Superman when he fights Doomsday or whatever and he fucking dies. That's my favorite one for sure. And then while he's gone, they've got like the fucking like Robo Superman. I can't remember what they called it.
As a kid, Man of Steel. His name was the Man of Steel, and then there was the Eradicator, who was like him with like green on his hands, like he could like green blast. And there was like Superboy with like the short hair. It was like I remember because there was like a Super Nintendo game that released at the same time after Death of Superman, and after Death of Superman, there was like 5 or 6 like replacement superhero Supermen, kind of.
Yeah.
And there was a video game where you could play as all of them. When one was steel with like a big ass hammer, and it was like so sick as a kid. I loved like that whole thing. Yeah. But then I grew up and I was like, Superman's fucking dumb, bro. He could just do anything. He's always like, well, I could vibrate super fast so that I become molecules, and then I'll travel around the world as molecules and could go through the wall, and I'll be able to.
Yeah, that annoyed me when the Flash would do that. When he just vibrate his molecules. It's like, wait, all right. I get that you move fast, but are you saying that anyone can vibrate their molecules just not as fast as you? Because I don't think so.
Isn't that what we're doing? If we start vibrating, we're vibrating our molecules.
Yeah, but he's vibrating them individually to the point where he can like
It seems like he has control of his body on a molecular level. And
yeah, it made no sense.
Hal makes a really good point. Until you said that, I was like, well, what about the Hulk? Right, the Hulk gets stronger and more. Like the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets, the more durable he gets, the more he repairs and heals and recovers. It seems like there's no limit to it. But then when you get to the Superman and the molecules and the through the earth, it's like, well, I guess he beats the
One
Hulk.
of my favorite comics, another one is when Wolverine fights the Hulk. And they're in like Alaska or Canada.
Wolverine win that.
Wolverine also heals, and he's got adamantium claws to tear the Hulk apart.
Yeah, but the Hulk is the Hulk. He'll get madder and madder the more he gets cut, and then it's going to be like you can't.
That's the thing about the Hulk. He seems to have no limit to his power. If he starts to lose, then he just gathers more power.
It's so this is like one of my favorite discussions, by the way. I love it because I'm always like, you got the different variations of power levels. So like if we just did Marvel Cinematic Universe to just be simple, like Hulk is definitely stronger than Captain America, Black Panther, stronger than Iron Man. Like that's like Iron Man. You saw what he had to go through to like try and stop the Hulk, and it was still, you know, extremely difficult. And did he win that? They destroyed the whole city, you know. And the Hulk could just do that. Iron Man has to go repair that suit and all that. But like then you get to like the levels beyond that, and like Doctor Strange is fucking far superior to Hulk. It's cool that you can get angry and angrier, but if he drops you through infinite portal loop, like that's just you.
Yeah, magic is something that's always been able to
That's
kill
just
Hulk.
that's just it. You're done. Like you're just caught through that. Or even if you go and you take Thor, like Thor does trump Hulk at the end of the day, even though it's a great battle, it does. And actually, like Wolverine would get obliterated, but you just don't finish Wolverine. So Wolverine and Hulk is kind of like that's like I feel like a perfect stalemate. I feel like
Yeah,
those
they've had a
guys-
bunch of fights in the comics, and the Hulk usually wins, but Wolverine's won a few times too.
Why would Thor be stronger than the Hulk?
It's a god. He has that like that pool. Like when you get there and you like start to compare them back to back and what it is, like Thor is a demigod and Hulk is a man. Hulk's best thing going for him, which we're not really talking about right now, is if you bring Bruce Banner into the mix. Like Bruce Banner is smarter than Thor, but like Thor's strength is strength. So is Hulk's, you know. Thor can fly. Thor has an army that can, like, you know, he's got like a people that follow him.
But Harley, you mentioned the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Doesn't the Hulk beat him in that? Like repeatedly?
No, they had that moment. They had a fight where I think Thor ended up winning, but then they shocked him, so Hulk was able to win, and it was like a big thing in Ragnarok because Thor beat him, but they had to, like, he was about to use a lightning strike on him or whatever. But when you go to the comic universe, I think maybe Hulk is like way like Hulk in the comics, depending on who writes it, will keep growing and getting heavier and stronger the angrier he gets, with no ending to that. And in Civil War, they're like, fuck Hulk, let's get him out of here. And they literally flew him away because they couldn't deal with him. And that's when he came back, like after conquering a planet. You know, he landed on a planet and like, it was like a planet, like only the strong survive. And Hulk was the one. Hulk in comics is like super powerful. But like another thing in power levels, like Spider-Man is way stronger than Captain America. Like you don't think about that, but like Spider-Man is like he's smarter, as smart as Iron Man, as like, you know, as agile as anyone else that could be in the universe. Like Spider-Man is like very high tier.
Marvel does a pretty good job, at least in the cinematic universe, the thing I know better, of handling the different power levels, right? Because you have like the Hulk, you have Thor, you have Captain Marvel, they're going after Thanos, but then you have like the Hawkeye and Scarlet Widow, is that her name? And no, Black Widow, right? And I mixed her up with Scarlet Witch. Anyway, somehow Black Widow with her Glock is a useful, valued part of the team. With her, like, I guess, super manipulation.
Yeah, they
powers.
keep. I was so impressive that they kept people in. They how do you keep Hawkeye in?
Right? But
yeah, they need to get Hawkeye a fucking AR-15.
Yeah, imagine
Like,
if he was Deadeye. Deadeye from what the fuck? DC, I'm trying to say. Will Smith's character.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty interesting to watch him just like, I don't know, poke eyes out during that big first Avengers battle scene.
Yeah, there's like different versions. It depends on who's writing them, and there's different versions from, like, you know, various comic books of every character. So in any one iteration, each character has been like super powerful. Like there's a world, I think it's World Beater Hulk, you know, where the Hulk is just like crazy overpowered. There's one where it's like the entire Marvel universe against the Hulk. There's some like that, and then there's episodes like that for everyone. I think there's one where Wolverine kills everyone.
Can Wolverine swim?
There's one where the Punisher kills the entire Marvel universe.
Can Wolverine swim?
Yeah, if you wanted to drown him, you'd probably have to use like I know Lady Deathstrike was killed, but she was drowned in adamantium, like liquid adamantium.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that's a way to kill him. I saw him survive a nuke in a comic though. The nuke went off and obliterated all the organs off of his metallic skeleton, and then they reformed back. So I was like, oh, so that's the extent. But it's always like Marvel's different. Like DC's like, Batman doesn't kill. Superman would never do this. They have rules. Marvel's just like, hey man, think it up. We'll put it on the fucking put it in the book, bro. Yeah. Punisher kills everyone. Sure.
Dark
We'll
Horse
read
is
it.
even crazier. Yeah, I like when the comics can get a little ridiculous. I like when they split off and do like many different universes where like a thing happens and everyone just dies. Like there's one where the Punisher just kills every fucking body.
I like that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I
The
read
Punisher
one.
kills everyone.
I don't know if you guys, Punisher kills Marvel.
Is he
there's
even a
Deadpool one
superhero,
also.
or is he just an assassin?
He's a human. He's a
human.
vigilante. He's a vigilante. He's
He's
really
had a lot of
really great
training,
comic to
Taylor.
read.
One interesting thing, if a character gets really OP, that's sort of a sign of a successful comic. Because what happens is they start out, for example, as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And they go and they take on burglars. And then some time passes, and now Spider-Man's taken on this guy or another superhero or some bigger guy. Before long, Spider-Man's battling Galacticus or something like that. It's because this thing's gone on for 50 years. You know, if it's a brand new comic, then they're still in their little stages.
I agree with what you're saying. I think I've looked at comic book characters as A-list, B-list, just like celebrities. And when I grew up, like Wolverine was an A+ leading character. Everyone loved him. You know who wasn't? Iron Man, C-list. No one gave a shit about Iron Man. I thought Captain America was quite lame growing up. He was cool and all, but he wasn't like the X-Men. The X-Men were cool. And then a couple bad movies and all of that. And now all of a sudden, like, you'll see Groot walking the red carpet and people going crazy, and Wolverine's like nowhere to be seen at all. It's just because, like, when I heard Guardians of the Galaxy was being made, I was like, it's a fucking tree and a raccoon. This is going to be so dumb. But you make a good movie for the kids that grow up now. I have this Marvel poster that had Wolverine and Hulk in the front and Spider-Man. Now it's literally like Groot and Star-Lord in the front and Wolverine and Hulk are like in the back because you want the kids to buy it now. And that whole power dynamic is shifted. And then you look at someone like Venom and you're like, even though the movie comes out and people weren't hyped about it, it's still sold like crazy because Venom is just for everyone.
I like that movie.
Yeah, I liked it too. It's pretty fun. And my friends rag on me all the time for liking it.
I don't know why it's good. I don't know why people give a
So
shit.
Venom isn't even a villain, or it's like some sort of fungus or something that
He's
sucks
an
on someone.
anti-hero at best. He's a borderline villain.
But doesn't he? It's like some alien thing that turns.
Venom,
It's a symbiote.
Venom is that alien. That is Venom. And like, you know, that particular piece of the symbiote, that particular entity is Venom. That's his name. That's what he calls.
What are his powers? What can he do?
Well, I thought
he amplifies the powers of whoever he attaches himself to. So, but he sort of provides armor, and he's a little bit like Spawn. Actually, he is very much like Spawn because I want to say Todd McFarlane wrote
he did.
Venom. So they can say, yeah. So he just
said he lost so much money, not lost, but didn't get a lot of money based on how much Marvel was making, and I think that inspired him to start his own. It
did. It absolutely did. So he took like aspects of several of his other characters and wrote them all into Spawn. And I was going to mention Spawn because I'm hyped that Todd McFarlane's going to get to make a Spawn movie that's rated R and have complete creative control over that thing. Because Spawn is a ridiculous character. We're talking about how these characters are overpowered. Spawn exists in a universe where heaven and hell are real. God and Satan are real, and they are characters.
Us too.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah, not really though. And in the comics, Spawn has defeated Satan and God. Yeah, it's great. So
Satan and God.
I've always disliked he's a god as an argument for power because it doesn't mean anything to me. Like I know what God's powers are. Well, it
depends like what kind of God you're talking about.
He makes children get bicycles for Christmas, I guess.
That's Santa.
If it's a Jesus, it depends like what level of God. Like if it's a Jesus level God, it's like he can do anything, whenever, whatever, anytime.
Jesus can do anything. Jesus can't fend off a fucking nail gun.
Well, he
allowed himself.
He allowed himself to be crucified. Was the thing. Like he could have left.
That's how I would tell the story if I got my ass kicked.
I'm talking about God tiers right now. So, like the Bible God does omniscient, omnipresent, everything. He can do whatever he wants anywhere. And then you got like the Greek and Roman gods, where it's like Zeus, he's really powerful, the most powerful, but he's like you can still fucking trick him. Like you couldn't trick the Bible God.
You can make him come. You can make Zeus come. You can't make God come.
Whole galaxies came from Zeus coming all over the world.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big deal. The fact that you can make him come, like a human could make him come. Humans not making God come.
wasn't his wife Hera? Isn't that right? She
Yeah.
stopped making him come enough, and so then he started fucking like humans.
All sorts of things, humans and animals and everything.
Yeah, that's how he got Hercules. They were pretty degenerate, those gods. But that's what
Yeah,
like I
they were the
liked as a
worst.
kid. I was like, man, this is like gods, but they seem more like a group of friends and kind of enemies. And it's like I always thought, like, man, if I were God, I would prefer to have like other gods to talk to, because like even if you're God, like imagine knowing, like, at least Zeus could go to Poseidon and be like, hey, what's new with you? You couldn't have that if that was the Jesus God or like the Bible God. He couldn't ask you what was new with you because he'd already know. You couldn't have conversation. You couldn't have anything. So
Yeah, it would be a terrible existence to be an actual
unfortunate.
all-knowing, all-seeing, omniscient, omnipotent God.
On the topic of Venom, by the way, Venom also he has a memory blueprint of anyone he attaches to, and just by chance, one of the first people he attached to was Spider-Man. So he mimics Spider-Man's abilities, like the web swinging and stuff, just because he has that blueprint. And I read a Venom comic not too long ago where he ended up going on like this intense like military vet who had been like on like secret missions and shit, and he was all like a fucked up PTSD crazy military guy. And Venom ended up being a good guy. At one point he was in the Guardians of the Galaxy, he left, he came back to Earth, and he was starving. He attached to this guy, and then he was like, oh shit, this guy's a psycho, this guy kills people for money, this guy's bad, I want off. And the guy grabbed Venom and put him back on, and he was like, no, he's like, I've trained to protect myself psychologically from torture. Like, you've never been with someone with my mind, and I like your power, so you're staying with me. And so this ex-military dude has Venom captive and uses his powers, whereas normally Venom is the parasite. This guy's the parasite, and it's a really interesting take on the story.
Cool.
The guy ends up knowing like Spider-Man's identity and stuff, because you end up becoming one with Venom, and Venom knows all of what he's experienced and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I watch a lot of
cool.
the animated stuff, especially the DC animated movies.
There's so many.
There's a lot of them, and they're all on HBO. It seems like, so I think I've seen them all the good ones anyway. I don't like the Teen Titans bullshit and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't like when there's child heroes or when it's like hundreds of years in the future or some shit.
Teen Titans Go to the Movie, I promise, is a great movie. It's really good. I don't watch Teen Titans the show, and I know people love it, but I just watched the movie, which is, if you just know enough about Batman and Robin and shit, like just basic stuff, it'll be entertaining. It is a good one.
I like the Batman shit. I'm a big Batman fan.
Lego
I like
Batman,
what?
Lego Batman. Have you seen that?
I don't like the Lego stuff.
You're lucky. It's one of the best Batman movies. I promise. I
don't like the Lego shit, man. They're fucking Legos.
Funny, and they make fun of Batman the whole time.
It is good. It's good. Like he goes to his computer. He's like, Batputer, and they're like, password. He's like, Iron Man sucks.